Huh? Did your girl pull it off or not? Because I'm kind of feeling vampy. I'm kind of feeling, you know, like I want to go out and, you know, handle my business. I'm feeling real vamp. I'm feeling real fall. I'm feeling real winter. I'm feeling real, I don't know how to rap. I don't know why I always get on here and think I know how to rap because I can't rap. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. MrsKevOnStage here. Rocking this vampy situation she got going on right here, right now, and I'm loving it. I've never done anything this dark and purple and vampy, and I love the way it came out. If you guys want to see how I got this look, keep watching. All right, so here we go. Today we're going to attempt to do a vampy look, hence my lace and black and my bun situation. I feel like I'm giving vampy dark vibes, so we'll see how this works, okay? All right, so first thing we're gonna do, prime the face. I'm going to use the Fenty Primer. My face has been pretty balanced here lately. I've been seeing an esthetician and she has my skin really kind of balanced and not as oily as it used to be. And this primer has a little bit of hydration in it. And I don't like to look too flat and matte in the face. So I'm hoping this will counteract that. All right, so we're going to go into brows. I'm going to be using the Goof Proof Pencil number 5 from Benefit. The number one trick to great brows is number one, to have them groomed. They don't necessarily have to be freshly groomed, but it definitely makes it a lot easier to carve out your brows when you have a line to follow. If you don't have your brows groomed, I would definitely recommend go see a professional. Do not do them yourselves. Hear me what I tell you. Don't pluck your brows yourself. You will mess them up permanently, and it is irreversible. Ask me how I know. All I'm doing is starting from the bottom, and I see the natural arch in my brow, and I'm just drawing a line right underneath there, and then I'm doing the same thing at the top, following the natural arch, and then lightly filling this in. If you buy this pencil, know that it is extremely creamy and very, very pigmented, so a light hand goes a long way with this pencil because it is so creamy, and they look a lot heavier on camera than they do in real life. I actually like my brows to be kind of light, and I like my natural hair to show, but because this pencil is so pigmented, it looks pretty awful actually on camera, but I promise they're not like this in real life. I don't comb through my brows all the time because I'd like for you to see my actual brow hairs, and I feel like combing through the brows, when it disperses the product, which is what you want, but I feel like I start to lose the definition of the hair, and I'm not really a fan of that look. So anyway, that's just my personal preference. Talk about my brows if you like. This is how I like them. I'm going to use Warm Honey to carve out the bottom. You probably notice I do not carve out the top of my brows. That's not a look that I like. You can get that halo look in your pictures if you don't blend this out really well. I would rather just use my foundation to carve out the top instead of using the highlight. It's just not a look that I like. So I'm taking the Morphe M160 brush and just carving out the bottom portion. And again, I use my concealer to prime my eyes as well. You can use an actual eyeshadow primer, but listen, makeup is expensive. So if you can use one product for multiple purposes, I am a strong believer in that. Okay? So I pulled this all the way down, and I use this as a base for my eyeshadow. And you always want to use an eyeshadow base because it's going to help your colors be more vibrant. They're going to help them show up as the color that you see in the pan. It's going to help them not crease and last longer throughout the day. These are all good things, people. These are all good things. I'm going to use a Morphe M504 brush, and I'm going to use that to blend out that concealer. I do not have oily eyelids, but if you do, you definitely want to set whatever primer you use. You want to set it, and that just ensures, it's just added insurance. Added insurance that your eyeshadow won't crease. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the Laura Mercier powder in translucent. You do not have to use a translucent powder. You can use an eyeshadow that's close to your skin tone. I'm just going to use a fluffy shader brush. And it also helps to get rid of that creamy consistency underneath your brow, which isn't my favorite thing. Remember, there's multiple ways to skin a cat, so I'm telling you how I like to do my makeup, but if you like something different, do you, boo. Do you. All right, now we're gonna go into this eyeshadow. My eyebrows are not even, but we're gonna go with it, okay? So I'm using the Morphe 35P palette. This is just all purple tones. I want it to be a really dramatic, vampy look. And when I think vampy, I think purple. So that's what we're gonna do. As a transition color, we're gonna use, let's use this color right here. So I'm using my Morphe M504 brush, and I'm just building this up. Just like that. I like it already. Then I'm gonna take my Sigma E38 brush, and we're gonna take a darker color here. Second row, directly in the middle, right below that first color we use. Get some product on there and take this right in the crease. We're just building up intensity here. Just like that. You can see how it's building up in color. And I'm just taking this pretty much the inner 2/3 of the eye. Actually, I guess I am taking it all the way through. This is a great crease brush, by the way. It doesn't get color everywhere. I've really been liking this brush lately. And I am going to pull this out. You guys know that's my favorite thing. All right, now what we're gonna do is take a Smith 230 brush. I love these brushes. And we're gonna take this color, which I've clearly dipped into too many times because I've hit pan. It's this really dark kind of black and purple. And I'm gonna use that to go right in the outer V of my eye. So I'm pretty much leaving this right here, going no further than the outer 2/3 of my eye. Kind of build up some smoke and intensity, and you can see the difference there. Color is pretty dark, so be careful you don't get really carried away. Like, pretty much leave this in the crease. When you're doing a smoky eye, if you take it above the crease, that's when things get really sloppy and really muddy and really like, what did you do? Real quick. We're gonna take a little bit and smoke out the bottom. So just so you know, I use these two colors and this color. And I'm gonna go back in with my Sigma E38 brush. I'm gonna go in with that lighter, the second shade that I use, and smoke out the inner portion of my eye with that color. Yeah, this is looking real vampy. For all you people that struggle with cut crease, Sigma has a cut crease brush. It's the E62, and as you can see, it has this kind of curved shape, so it naturally goes with the natural like curve in your eye. It makes it a lot easier. I've really been liking this brush lately. So I'm gonna go in with the same LA Girl concealer. I just have it on my palette here. And I'm gonna put a little bit of product on here, and I'm just gonna apply this all over the mobile part of the eyelid. I'm not gonna pull this out to the outer 2/3. And I am going to just kind of blend this so it transitions nicely. And I'm just using a ColourPop shader brush. I am gonna set this because I am getting a little bit of transfer, and transfer just means that when I open my eye, this is coming above my crease right there. You can see it. So I want this to set in place so it doesn't do that. So I'm just taking my translucent powder and setting this. Setting it in place, just like that. All right, now I'm gonna take two Anastasia Beverly Hills shadows, single shadows as my lid color. I'm gonna use Metal and Chocolate Crumble. So this is Chocolate Crumble. It's brown, but it kind of has a purple tint to it. You can kind of see that. And then Metal is a much more sheer color, like that. I'm just going to use a flat shader brush and some Fix Plus spray. Spray my brush. I'm first going to take Chocolate Crumble and use that as my transition color on the outer portion of my eyes. So right where I blended the concealer and that outer crease color, I'm going to use that there. Just to kind of soften and blend out those edges. And I'm just lightly tapping this onto my eye like that. And then I'm gonna flip my brush over and use Metal on the inner portion. And this almost comes off like a yellow gold. It is pretty. This would be a really pretty inner tear duct color. This kind of has a lot of fallout, so I'm kind of swiping it just to make sure this goes on. I'm gonna spritz my brush just a little bit more. So I'm just lightly, you wanna always pat your eyeshadow on. That's gonna give you the most color payoff. And I'm kind of like swiping, patting, just to make sure it covers evenly as well. All right, I'm gonna darken up the outer corner just a bit. I'm gonna take the Smith 253 brush. This is my favorite brush for deepening up the outer V without getting shadow all over your eye. This little, it's almost like it goes to a tapered point. It is perfect for this. So I'm just gonna dip a little bit of product in here and just go right on the outer edge of the eye. Right where that outer V is. Just to give a little bit more smoke and dimension. I'm gonna go back in with the Sigma E38 brush. This is one of my favorites. And lightly graze the top, just so it blends into the crease as well. And I really like it. I am going to go in with Sienna by Anastasia Beverly Hills and take my Morphe M504 brush and lightly add this just right at the top for all y'all who are cringing at my non-transition color. I'm just gonna lightly graze the very top of this color so that it transitions. Just like that. And you can see it there, just at the very tippy top. And that's what you want. You want gradient. You want effect. Am I looking vampy? Because I'm feeling vampy. All right, so we're gonna clean this up. I am gonna use a makeup wipe to clean this up because I have product everywhere and I don't want that to intermingle with my foundation. So I'm just gonna take a makeup wipe and lightly just clean up the bottom. Not too much because I do like my smoky eyes to be kind of blown out. I really like this, you guys. This is really cute. This is real cute. It's real cute. So now what I'm gonna do is conceal these dark marks on my face. I'm gonna use the Makeup Forever Full Coverage Concealer. I'm just gonna squirt a little bit of this onto my palette. I'm gonna use my Morphe M507 brush. Women of color, we usually have these dark marks around, dark shadows around our mouth area. So if you don't want your foundation to look gray there, that's why you either color correct or you conceal. Depending on how dark your circles are, you can get away with concealing, but if they're pretty dark, what you actually want to do is color correct. And color correcting is going to bring everything one color on your face, and concealing is just going to hide them, hide the dark marks. I hope that makes sense. So color correcting, you're actually correcting the dark marks, and then concealing, you're just concealing them or covering them. And sometimes if they're too dark to conceal, you actually need to color correct first. You may have to do both. You may have to color correct and conceal. Just depends on how dark your circles or how dark the marks are. Let's talk about this Huda Beauty, girl. Okay, so I bought the Huda Beauty Faux Filter High Coverage Cream Foundation in the color 500G. I actually don't mind the color. I'll tell you my thoughts on this. I've been wearing it all week, and the coverage is beautiful. It does have a scent. When I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, they made it seem like it was you're gonna pop it out the bottom. You're gonna be like, oh my God, this is like so scented. It is scented. It's not that dramatic for me, but I'm not real sensitive to smells. It is a high coverage foundation, definitely. It comes out kind of thick. You can tell that right away that it is definitely, anytime it comes out thick, it's going to be full coverage. So it's definitely a full coverage concealer. The only thing I don't like about it is I feel like at the end of the day, face looks cakey. Like my face looks like I have makeup on, and that's not, I don't really like that look. I want to go throughout the day and not feel like I look like I have makeup on. Like throughout the day, I feel like this starts to look like makeup, and that's not a look that I enjoy. It's just not a look that I like, that I can get with. So that's my only issue with this, is that I'm gonna try, I haven't used it with the beauty blender. I've been using it with a brush, which is gonna even pack it on even more, and it's gonna give you even more high coverage. So I'm gonna try to blend it out with this beauty blender and see how I like it. I just used 2 pumps there, and you can see how thick it is. It kind of reminds me of the Kat Von D foundation, where it's just really thick, really high coverage, really like, it feels like you have makeup on. That's what this does for me. I don't mind the color. The first time I wore it, I thought it oxidized, but I wore it again, and I actually just think, I don't know what I did wrong. Maybe I just wore, actually I don't really contour, so I don't know what I did wrong, but it got kind of red throughout the day, and that kind of, I didn't really like. But the coverage and the color, I'm not really mad at. I am liking it kind of watered down with the beauty blender though. That is one thing I do love about the beauty blender. And my beauty blender is damp, by the way. You always want to use your beauty blender damp. Like, you cannot tell me this works better dry. This absolutely is a product that is made to use wet, because when it's big and fluffy, that's when you're going to get the magic that is the beauty blender. With this, I haven't been color correcting or concealing with this when I go to work, and it covers everything really well. So, and I still have a lot of product left, actually. That's it right there. I still have a ton of product. So, me, myself, personally, I like it with the beauty blender. I wish I had tried this throughout the week, because I really like this a lot better with the beauty blender. It's not as cakey, it's not as heavy, and that's what I do like. I'm kind of mad I didn't do that. For concealer, I'm going to be using the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in NC42 and NC45 and mix them. This is a combination that I got from Ellery. I mix them because NC42 is pretty light, and I've actually been into really more natural highlights lately. And NC45 is going to give you the natural highlight, but mixing it with this, it's going to give you that like extra oomph. So that's what I've been really into lately. I am going to take my Morphe M705 brush and just mix those together really, really well. I do put a little bit more of the NC45 in there than the NC42, just so it doesn't get too light. So you want to highlight underneath your eyes to make it look like you got 8 hours of sleep. And I always bring this in because that's going to give you like a natural contour. And this does dry down pretty quickly, so work quickly, or do one eye at a time, which is what I probably should have done. I'm gonna go in with my Imani stick foundation in Earth 7 to contour. I really don't do this every day, I promise you I don't. And I like to leave my contour right where my cheekbone, right where that high point is, because I believe that's, see, that's what's gonna give you that extra oomph in your cheek. And I do curve this just like that, because that's what's going to give you that lift. And when you set your nose contour, don't use a lot of powder and don't leave it on long, because it will set into place and you will be able to see it. And I have done that before. I'm going to use the Laura Mercier powder in translucent, which I'm literally almost out of. You can either use your damp beauty blender for this, or like a wedge or a brush. I'm just gonna go in with my beauty blender, and I'm gonna use translucent in all the areas that I highlighted my face. And I'm gonna use, I always look ridiculous, I don't know why my process isn't cute, Laura Mercier translucent powder in medium deep everywhere else. God dog it. Y'all, let me leave this powder on too long. I gotta wipe this off. I gotta wipe this off. I gotta wipe this off. This isn't the right brush. Oh shoot, this isn't the right brush. Hold on, this isn't the right brush. Okay, I'm just using my Kabuki brush by e.l.f. to clear this. See that line? That's what I was trying to avoid. Maybe I could do it with my finger. Shoot. I'm going to use my mineralized skin finish to dust this away and pray to the heavens that this also goes away. See it? See it? It's not what I wanted. This is just a skin finish, and I can explain the difference if you guys would like to know the difference between a mineralized skin finish and a setting powder in another video. If you like, just let me know. God dog it. Oh well. It is what it is. Alright, I'm going to set my contour with the Black Radiance Pressed Powder in Ebony. And I'm using the MAC 109 brush. Just to kind of go over and set that cream product. Anytime you use a cream product, you always want to set it with the powder. So you just go in and set your contour. And then I'm going to blend that out with the Japanese brush. If you ever notice, I love Rihanna's contours because they're always so soft but chiseled at the same time. But they're never harsh. Like, you know she's contoured, you know she's snatched, you know her makeup artist put in some work, but it never looks like she's overly chiseled. And that's what I like. Them cheekbones are popping or no? Look like I just went on a diet or no? Okay, then we're gonna use a Becca Mineral Blush in Nightingale. And I'm gonna use this brush, I don't know who it's from. Just dip a little bit of product in there. We're gonna take our Morphe M29 brush, and she's looking real cute. I don't know why I didn't finish off my eyes. I'm doing this all out of order. We're gonna use the Taraji Glow. And actually what I'm also going to do is I've been really liking liquid highlighter lately. So we're gonna do that while we're here. I mean, we may as well. So this is the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops in Candlelight. And this is what it looks like, it's a liquid highlight. So I like to put a very little bit right at the high points of my cheeks. And then take that same Morphe M529 brush and blend it out. And this makes your highlight look wet. And that is something that I mean, look at the difference. That is something that I really have been liking lately. And I like it right at the apple of my cheeks, right there. Just like that. I'm going to finish off the eyes using the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner. I'm going to do a little bit of a wing liner. Okay, my wing liner is done. What I'm going to do is smoke out my lower lash line. I'm going to use a little bit of this Milani Stayput waterproof eyeliner and keep on Sapphire. This is blue, but it'll look purple. I'm gonna add a little bit of this on my lower lash line. Then I'm gonna take my Urban Decay 24/7 Guide On Pencil in Perversion and take that in the inner waterline. I'm gonna take my Sigma E32 brush and smudge that together. Because I'm a strong believer that no matter what makeup look you're doing, you should always smudge out the bottom. We're going to go in with the Morphe 35P palette and this dark purple shade and a Makeup Geek pencil brush. And just add a little bit of color on the outside, outer third. And then I'm going to take the Sigma E32 brush and go in with a little bit of a lighter shade. This color right here. Now we're getting vampy. Yeah. Now we're getting vampy, girl. Now we're getting vampy. I have been obsessed with the Selfie lashes by Flutter Lash. I love a long wispy lash, and these are them. So we're gonna add these. When you're adding lashes, you always want the glue to dry down so it's kind of tacky so it adheres nicely to your eye. I can't find my lash applicator, so I'm just using my tweezers. And you want the side that has the thinner to go on the inner portion of your eye. I like to turn my mirror to the magnifying side so I can see better. And you want to do this at an angle going up and over your natural lash. Do not put them on your natural lash. You will be lash ball head, and don't nobody want that. All right, lashes are on. We're going to spray using the MAC Fix Plus spray. Normally I would use MAC's Night Moth, but I can't find it. So we're gonna go in with NYX Jetset. It's just a purple, kind of a blue purple. Don't get it twisted. NYX's lip liners are kind of bomb. Sometimes we buy MAC because it's what's known, but for a lip liner, you don't always have to go for the most expensive brands. These are bomb. All right, so then we're gonna use Smoked Purple by MAC. This is a very deep, kind of a blackened purple. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit of gloss on here just so it doesn't look so flat. This is the Urban Decay Gloss Highcolor Lip Gloss in Bittersweet. It's just purple. I'm just gonna put a little bit on my hand like that and dab it right in the center. So you get that kind of puckery, your lips look plump and puckered look. All right, you guys, so this is the final look. It's super vampy. This is super dark, super vampy, very much like you're going to a club, or maybe you're going to a comedy club or a date night in the fall or the winter. This is very dark, kind of sexy, but very vampy. I think purple and I think vampy like this all the time. So pretty. I really like the way it turned out. Although it looks like I have a lazy eye. I don't have a lazy eye, I just don't always know how to apply lashes. Listen, you guys, I am a regular person that loves makeup. I am not a makeup artist. I'm not trying to be a makeup artist. All I'm really trying to do is inspire you, the average regular viewer, that's a woman that just wants to look good when she goes out on her husband. I'm just trying to inspire you. I'm just trying to help you. Okay, I don't know all the rules. I don't have all the rules. I don't claim to be a makeup artist. I'm just a makeup enthusiast, a makeup junkie that's learned on YouTube. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching and following along with me and going on this crazy journey of YouTube with me. I really, really appreciate all that you guys are, all that you do. Every comment I read, every comment on Instagram I read, and it just warms my precious little heart. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out. Thank you so much. I would greatly appreciate you joining the MrsKevOnStage Brown Girl World, Brown Girl family. And I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any suggestions or comments or concerns, please leave them in the description. No, I handle the description. Please leave them in the comment section below. I will respond. I always do. I got receipts, boo. I got receipts. Until the next video, thank you guys so much for watching.